Right now I'm 1 week away from my race, so today will actually be my biggest run during my 2 weeks of training before my race. And today actually I plan to run something about 20 kilometers, which will about be the farthest that I've ever run. So here we go. Today for this run, it's a pretty long run, but it's supposed to be a pretty easy, slow pace where I can talk like this. So I'm actually gonna do a route that I normally do on my bicycle and show you guys one of my favorite places to ride my bike for sure. And I've never really run over there, and it's called Bang Kra Jao, or a lot of like local foreigners will call it the green lung of Bangkok. So I'll actually run not far from where I live over to a pier and cross the river. And like over in this area, it's really kind of like a really chill area where it's more like living in a small town in Thailand than in Bangkok. So can't wait to show you guys. All right, so not that far into my run, and I chose this route because it's a bit longer way than I would normally ride my bike to get to Bang Kra Jao. But on this route, I have to cross over a bridge, which is one of the only hills that kind of I know of. There's like a big hill in the area. So I'm coming up on it now. It's one of my big hills. So getting over that hill will feel pretty good because it's one of like the harder things I'll have to do throughout the whole run. So once I hit that, it's kind of nice to hit like little milestones early on, make you feel really good about things. Alrighty, so I'm wrapping up the first little section of my run. I just ran to the Na Pier. This is right at the what's called the Bang Kra Jao temple, which is a little temple on the south side of Bang Kra. Basically, if you just take Bang Kra all the way south, it will head into this road and lead you right to this pier at the riverside. Check it out. So awesome, I love it. And to get to Bang Kra Jao, there's two ways that you can go. You can hop on one of these little like souped up speedboats. It's like a super hot rod version of a longtail boat. Or you can take the ferry. And the ferry will take you right over to the Na Pier temple, which will go right to the market, which I would normally suggest. When I take my bike, it's only, I think, 7 baht a person. If you're just a pedestrian, you don't have a bike or a motorcycle, I think it's only 4 baht. But today I want to add a little distance to my run. So I'm going to head over on the little hot rod boat, which will be really fun because it basically hydroplanes across the water, over to Hiddenwood Cafe to start off my run, just to add a little bit more distance. So here we go. Okay, what's good on this boat? Well, one of the things, because this boat does go fast, I lost one of my favorite hats on this boat. So here we go. Then to get to Hiddenwood, all you have to do is follow the signs for wherever you got off on the pier. There's a lot of different ways you can get there. You just want to follow those signs till you're there. One of my favorite things about just coming to Bang Kra Jao in general is just that it's so much like being out in the wild, being out at like a national park. It's just so many little trails and it's so green and beautiful. So it just adds that extra sense of adventure to what you're doing. Here we go. Hiddenwood. Yes, feels really good to be back. It feels so much cooler than where I just was in Bangkok too. And there was decent wind, but just the sun was on me feels so much brighter. But here, there's a lot of shade, the fresh air. I can smell all the flowers, just awesome. When you get to the entrance of the Hiddenwood, you'll be able to see this sign from outside. It's definitely a very popular place. They're very excited. So this garden is just so awesome. And it's a great place if you are on a bike ride, if you are on a run. This is definitely my #1 recommended cafe in all of Bang Kra Jao. Hiddenwood. Yes, such a great place to stop, take a breather, get some coffee, get a nice drink, grab a bite to eat, especially on a bike ride with friends. Yeah, just really great little refreshing pick-me-up. Really beautiful view. Gotta check it out. All right, now I'm going to be picking up like the major leg of my run. So I'm hoping to get something like another full 10 to 15 kilometers in to hopefully reach my total of 20 to 25 kilometers at the end of this. I think if I run all the way back here, that should get me to at least 20, and depending on how I feel, I might run or just take a taxi back home. One thing, if you do come to Bang Kra Jao, be aware that there just are a lot of local tourists. So people will come maybe like on a workout, but people will come for like couples dates, group dates. And I'll show you guys where you can rent some bicycles, but a lot of people will be on bicycles that really don't know how to ride bicycles and that are on like pretty hard bicycles to control. So just be very careful and aware as you're on these little pathways like this, as you go around people, as you go past people. Just try to be really patient and observant, because some people are just out for a good time. They might not be out having like a big workout, but just, you know, they're getting into cycling, or they're getting into like going outdoors. So be patient, kind to them. I don't know how many times I've had friends tell me like, oh, you cycling jerks, or you running jerks, because they like saw someone yell at them while they were first learning how to ride their bike, or while they were running or something. So just be really like gracious, patient, realize that you're an ambassador to the sport. So be kind and welcome people into this community. Here we go. This is called the Nam Pung Trail, which means like the honey trail, or maybe it's just Pung Trail, I forget, which would just mean bee. But really cool pathway, and it's awesome in the mornings and the evenings. Lots of birds come out here. I believe it's, I forget the exact percentage, but like most of Thailand's wildlife birds can be found at Bang Kra Jao. So I mean like birds of every color I have seen here at some point. Very beautiful looking. Many of them can sing just amazing songs. They just sound so amazing. So it's really great to come out in the morning, the evening, especially as they're like eating the bugs and flying around. Such a cool experience. So if you're running, or if you're like cycling, or just out in the street in Bangkok in general, and you pass by close to someone, you want to say just excuse me, pardon me. In Thai, how to say that is "ka thot." "Ka thot" is like excuse me, or a way to apologize. And you just add your polite particle at the end. So if you're a guy, krap. If you're a girl, ka. So you just say like katok krap or katok ka, to just say like, oh, excuse me. Or maybe if you're coming up from behind someone pretty quick, you might just say that like katok krap or katok ka. And that's just a nice way to either for you to say you're sorry or excuse me, or to just say like, hey, I'm coming up, excuse me. already. So I'm a little past halfway, and I'll be honest, it was pretty rough. I'm really hot because I'm running kind of midday. It's my Sunday afternoon, and I've made it to this park, Suwon Sinakon. And there's two big misconceptions about Bang Kra Jao. And one is that a lot of people that have just kind of been to Bang Kra Jao one time, they'll have come to this park, Suwon Sinakon, and think that this park alone is all of Bang Kra Jao. But actually, this is a very small park, especially in kind of Bangkok park standards. So if you're here on like a weekend and you're only coming to this park, realize that that's not all of Bang Kra Jao. So another big misconception about Bang Kra Jao is that it's like really far away. It's hard to get to. A lot of times people first join like a friend or someone to go to Bang Kra Jao. She may have had to drive far or something, but Bang Kra Jao is so big. I'm gonna show you this map here of all of Bangkok. And unless you're in like the north end of Bangkok, up towards Ontumburi, you most likely live close to Bang Kra Jao because it's simply this quote unquote island that is cut off by the river. So there's several ways you can cross over. Like I crossed over today at the Bang Na side. You can cross over on the south end also, which might technically be like Samupragan. I've crossed over there before. And you can cross over close to where this park is, up at Klong Toey, kind of like the Param Sea, Rama 4 area. And then you can even cross over at Satan. So there's so many ways to get to Bang Kra Jao. It's such a cool place because it's so big, it's so vast. There's so many things to explore. I've been coming for most of the time that we've lived in Bangkok, over at least over 5 years. I've come out here and there's still little areas that I have not explored. So such a cool place, so much to see. So no matter where you are, there's a cool way to get here. In terms of renting bicycles, I highly recommend, if you want to rent a bicycle from here, to do it from the Klong Toey area and the Klong Toey Pier. Because for like 80 baht a day, you can rent pretty good mountain bikes. Whereas most of the area, you'll have these kind of like old school cruiser bikes that are really just kind of like cheap bikes. And half the times I've been on groups with them, someone will have like one fall apart or something messes up, and I bring bike tools to kind of fix them. But at the Klong Toey side, once you cross over, you can rent pretty good mountain bikes. Just all along this whole community of Bang Kra Jao is just super, super beautiful. Look at this. All of it is just so picturesque and so cinematic. It's just awesome. So definitely makes just getting out and exploring just all the better. And you want to kind of do two kind of ways. You want to come out to like work out, but then it's fun to just come on chill days. Sometimes like Michelle and I will come out and we'll just kind of hang out. We'll bring Lobo. We'll find just like park benches some places, have a picnic. So be sure to come out just to work out, to exercise, because it makes it all the more enjoyable. But it's just so peaceful that it's really good to just come out and explore and to just chill on its own. Just finished out my run. I came back over across the river and just trying to check on my distance and realized that I had done over 20 kilometers already, and that was my goal. So I feel pretty good overall. It wasn't that bad of a run. My legs felt pretty good, and my energy, I can still talk very well. I literally just kind of finished my run. So that's kind of what they said. They wanted you to keep just like a steady pace. But one thing that was really rough is just like, this is the longest run that I've ever done. So my feet hurt a lot more than what I thought they would, and I do have relatively new shoes. Haven't had these for even a week yet, and towards the end I can feel myself starting to get a blister. So as I crossed the river, I was going to just start running back home if I didn't have enough distance, enough time. I thought I still needed about 4 kilometers, so I was going to run it. When I checked, I saw that I had done enough distance, and that made me feel pretty good because I didn't want to push too hard and then end up with a really bad blister to deal with my final week before the race. So really great day. This is, I think, my 6th day of training, and yeah, overall I feel like this 2 weeks of training so far is going really well and should get me in the shape I need to be in for my 30-day trail run.